A very good evening to all. On behalf of IIP technical team, I, Dr. Uttara Mohan, welcome you all to this webinar on SCI. Today's topic for the webinar is MAT program for quadriplegics with speaker Dr. Snehal Patel. Okay. If to get regular updates about our webinars and notifications, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and the Facebook page of IIP. If you have questions during the presentation to be asked to the speaker, please put them in the chat section. The questions will be addressed at the end of the presentation. The moderators for today's webinar are from the IIP WC Maharashtra State, Dr. Suvarna Ganvi, Dr. Nirali Sanghavi, and myself, Dr. Uttara Mohan, are the moderators. So now I ask Dr. Nirali to please start with the session.
Good evening, one and all. I would like to welcome you all to our webinar series on SCI. Without taking further time, I would like to briefly introduce about IIPWC. IIPWC started on 30th of May 2018. It functions under the guidance of National Head Dr. Ruchi Vashne and IIP President Executive Dr. Sanjeev Jha. IIPWC works towards conducting CMEs, awareness programs, and workshops. It aims at bringing together all the PT professionals under one roof and update each one about the recent advances and improving public awareness. We have 5 zones in India, and the West Zone being headed by Dr. Pooja Kamble. We have Dr. Suvarna Ganveer, who is the State Coordinator of Maharashtra, Dr. Snehal Patel, State Joint Coordinator, and State Sub-Coordinators Dr. Uttara Mohan, Dr. Priya Karande, and myself, Dr. Nirali Sanghavi. Maharashtra IIPWC has conducted 40 plus low-cost CMEs activities in various districts. In first corporate IIP conference in Indore, we have got the award for the best state of IIPWC. Here, I would also take the privilege of introducing our resource person for today, Dr. Snehal Patel. It is a privilege to have you here, Dr. Snehal Patel, today to talk about MAT program for quadriplegic. Dr. Snehal Patel has done her MPT in Neuro from Pravara Medical College, and she holds experience of 10 years plus. She has numerous feathers in her cap. She is a certified NDT basic and adult therapist from USA. She is certified CIMT, certified aquatic therapy, PNF level 1, 2, and 3A from USA, PT management in SCI from International Spinal Cord Society, ISWP Wheelchair Service Basic Training from International Society of Wheelchair Professionals USA. She is presently working with Paraplegic Foundation Mumbai, Multiple Sclerosis Society of India, and Neurology Foundation Mumbai. She has been an achiever of various awards and also been a resource person for various topics like transfer training in neuro rehab, PT management in paraplegic, and PT management in quadriplegic on hands-on workshop. Without any further ado, I shall request Dr. Snehal Patel to please take over this session. Thank you. Have a great time, all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Nirali. Thank you, IIP technical team also. So without taking the much time, I'll share my screen. Okay, it's visible. Hello, it's visible. Slide is visible to all.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So today I'll just show some of the basic ideas for the MAT program for the quadriplegic. So the content of the topic will see the C1, C4 management, upper limb spare muscle strengthening and the myotomes, rolling assisted and the full rolling, the sideline to sitting, pull-ups, long sitting position, the balance control, sideline to sitting, and sideline to prone, prone on forearm and the hand, assisted quadruped, kneeling, and group therapy.
Dr. Snehal, sorry to interrupt. Dr. Snehal, can you
Yes.
check if the full screen mode of the PPT is turned on? Because the full
Yeah,
PPT is not visible.
it's full from my side.
Can you try turning off and turning it on again?
Okay. Now it's visible.
Yes.
Uttara visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So spinal cord injury, it is a low incident, high cost disability requiring the tremendous changes in an individual lifestyle. So it is also called as a tetraplegia. So name itself is suggested there is an involvement of all the four limbs like the upper limb, lower limb, and there is an involvement of the bladder and bowel issues. So the spinal cord injury is occurs because of there are various cause. So majority there are 37% of there is a car accident like the motor vehicular accidents, bike accidents. If you see nowadays the people are not wearing the helmet also, those who are driving. So there is a chances of the leading to the spinal cord injury, mainly the cervical injury and also the diving injury. 30% of cases are mainly the falls and 28% is a violence. Sports and recreational injury like the some of the rugby or all the basketball and the other thing, there is a percentage wise it is a 9%. And the medical and surgical accidents will be around 4%. So this form of paralysis is inevitably to the product of damage high in the spinal cord, usually in cervical spine between C1 and C7. 30% of cases have the delayed in a diagnosis of the cervical spine injury or develop the permanent neurological deficit. As the rehabilitations of quadriplegia is very difficult, so we have to see the levels of the ASIA scale also. So in this, both the motor and sensory control will be lost below the neck region and patient is unable to move. Coming to the C1 and C4, C1 to C4 management. So major area of concentration are positioning, prevention of contracture, passive movements, transfer and mobility, and respiratory care. Positioning is to obtain the correct alignment of the fracture site. So within the first 3 months of the after the surgery, the proper positioning of the alignment will be very much necessary to prevent the contractures, to prevent the pressure sore, and to inhibit the spasticity. So in this, you can see the proper positioning of the patients. The pillow can be placed between the two legs, and also the one pillow will be placed below the shoulder and for the arm also. So the shoulder and also will be in the either in the abducted position or either in the this above pictures will be in the straight position, allowing the if the patient is with the flexion synergy or the spasticity is more in the upper limb, you can tie it with the crab bandage also and maintain the hand into the extension position. And this is a cervical spinal will be corrected. So this will be also placed in a proper manner. To prevent the bed sore, the air bed or water bed can also placed and the stockings to the lower limb. So to stretch the passive movements and the positioning in the lengthened positions are widely advocated for the treatment and prevention of contracture. So prevention of contracture, it is in this, you can see the simply how to do the certain prevention. To sustain stretch of the elbow flexors, you can keep the roll towel or the weight cuff With this, the elbow into the extended position, keeping roll towel below the shoulder joint. To sustain stretch of plantar flexors towards the foot end side of the bed, maintain the ankle into the neutral position and keeping pillow behind the sole of the foot. So this will give the good stretch of the plantar flexors. This is the sustained stretch in the sitting position of the pronatas of the elbow. So in this, you can, same thing will be used if the patient is having sitting position, use the weight cuff and tie it around the wrist area and maintain elbow into supination position. Sustained stretch of the shoulder adductor muscle. The shoulder will be around 90-degree positions from the trunk, if you see on this, and keeping the roll towel under the axilla and supination of the elbow, pull the hands. So there is also simultaneously stretch of the pronatals also and also the shoulder adductor. And keeping the good pillow positions in the neck region. So passive movement is also important to ensure the proper circulations, to ensure the full mobility of all the paralyzed structures. Avoid the extreme range of motions, and movement should be performed very slow, smooth, and a rhythmic manner to avoid injury to the paralyzed structure. So this is important to know the muscles which are spared depending on the level of injury. There are partial and the complete innervation. So C5 level of injuries occur, example, so deltoid, serratus anterior, infraspinatus, teres minor, bicep brachii, brachialis, and brachioradialis, they are partially innervated. Complete innervation of rhomboidus muscles. C6, serratus anterior and lats dorsi are partially innervated, whereas the deltoid, infraspinatus, teres minor, bicep brachii, and clavicular portion of pectoralis major, they are completely innervated. C7, partial innervation of tricep brachii, latissimus dorsi, sternocostal portion of pectoralis major, and complete innervation of serratus anterior. And C8 level, flexor pollicis longus and flexor pollicis brevis, they are partially innervated, while the complete innervation in good function with the serratus anterior, tricep brachii, lats dorsi, sternocostal portion of pectoralis major, flexor digitorum superficialis, and flexor digitorum profundus. So first we have to see this according to the level of injury. First you have to do assessment with the ASIA scale, where they check the neurological classification according to motor and sensory level. So from that, you can see which muscles are partially innervated and completely innervated. So before start with the MAT program, the strengthening exercise is very much important. So you can be used as assisted techniques like the slings or a pulley system. So in this, either patient is in sideline position with the sling can be used, the bed sling. Shoulder and flexors muscles will be work on in the sideline using the sling. So sling bed will be tied at the shoulder joint. Patient has to perform flexion and extension. In this, patient either perform in sitting position on the wheelchair in the rehab time, the shoulder extensors muscle in sitting using the pulley system. So this you can see, this is a pulley is working and attached to the upside. Shoulder protractors and retractor muscles in sitting using the sling. So belt will be tied, sling belt will be tied at the elbow joint and at the wrist joint. Do the movement around protraction and retractions using the sling. Shoulder abductors and the adductor muscle strengthening can be do in the sitting positions. With this, either the same way principle will be used, tying the sling at the wrist joint and the elbow joint. So progression can be made with the strength training principle. So these are the assisted exercise, which is a very much important to get the good improvement before start with the MAT exercise. So the MAT activities are given to facilitate the balance, to promote the stability, mobilize and strengthen the trunk and the limb, and to train the functional activity. And this activity will be important for the quadriplegics to learn, and it requires a lot of time. When you start with the MAT program to achieve the rolling or to achieve the sitting position, it's require a lot of time depending upon the level of injury. And you have to see the level of fatigue also. So this is the important chart, the rolling, which is the physical prerequisite. Supine, if you see on the chart, supine to prone without equipment, supine to prone with equipment, and prone to supine. So if you see which of the strength is important, which muscle is important, range of motion. The muscles which are in the box with the right tick mark, which is a large amount of strength is needed, which is the normal strength will be needed. One which is in the only the tick mark without any box, some strength is needed, not full strength is needed. So example, if supine to prone without any equipment, if you see the anterior deltoid and posterior deltoid is important to work on it. And the range of motion will be supine to prone will be external rotation and the elbow into the extension. Then coming to the next, supine to prone with equipments. We can use any of the devices also to rolling, like supine to sideline also. I will show you afterwards. Same way, the anterior deltoid is important muscles with this, and also important is a bicep brachii and a brachioradialis. The other range of motion is needed like the shoulder flexion and horizontal adduction and the elbow flexion. Prone to supine position, these are the muscles which is needed but not in the full strength. So coming to the rolling position, I will show you some of the demo techniques to supine to sideline with assistive device. So I will stop sharing my screen, Uttara. Can you see? Will you able to see? Yes.
A little.
Will you able to see?
Snail, you will have to move it a little lower. It's not totally visible.
Now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So for the rolling to the sideline positions on the left side, we can use the assistive things. Some of the things which is can use as the elbow splint, okay, to tie at the elbow when the patient is don't have the elbow control, okay, the C5 level of injury can be used this technique. So to tie with the strap. So this is the tailor made. This is a home production like the you can use the wooden strip, tight one, and the cover it with the elbow with the strap. So this will give you the elbow into the extension position. Same way you can tie. Okay. Same way you can tie at the both the elbows. So this will give the elbow into extension position. So starting with this, if the patient has to roll to the left side, okay, you can use always with the pillow and keeping the pillow on the scapula and below the pelvis. So this will give the less muscle work to the patients to turn on the one side. There are two things, either can cross the leg. If I am to turn the leg onto the left side, rolling is required on the left side, can cross the leg passively, the right leg will be crossed to the left side. So the therapist will be the initial level C5 injury. If there is a difficult, so
One therapist will be around the head and side of the patients, will work on the shoulder muscles, shoulder upper body part, and the other caregiver or therapist there can work on the scapula or around the pelvis, keeping the hand placement in the scapula and the pelvis. So with this, can use the momentum. For the rolling, it require a more of momentum force. So I will assist this. With this, it is one. With this, will be neck will be little flexed and rotated towards the left side because we want to turn on the left side. So with this, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, turn on the left side. So right now he is on the half the turn. So same way again, we have to do more on 1, 2, and 3. The next thing will be, if this is okay and patient can do with this, either you can tie the one strap around this area. Simultaneously, you can work on 1, 2, and 3. So hand placement is around the scapula and around the pelvis area. So this will give a greater momentum to turn on the one side of the body. So some of the patient is also having the severe spasticity, can do the flex the leg. Okay, so I passively flex the leg and turn towards the other side. Same way, either with the leg is extended or with the leg is bent position. Either single leg bend, either single leg bend or both the legs will be bent. So same way, greater momentum force, 1, 2, and 3. So turn to one side. Okay. So slowly you have to discard this assistive device if the patient is learned this thing. Okay. Good.
So these are the rolling. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible, Snehal.
Okay. So this rolling with the help of assistive device can be used with the sling or with the splint, elbow splint also. You can alternatively option, you can tie the half kg weight cuff to give a greater momentum force. So it will be easy for the patients to learn how to do rolling technique. So this is a rolling, roll to the sideline and a full rolling to the sideline. If you see this patient, now he learned to roll to sideline position after the initial treatment with the assistive device. So always you have to careful with the urine bag and the catheter when the MAT program use initiated. This is a full rolling from supine to prone, prone to supine. So this is also one thing, like some of the assistive device can also use like the loop handles. So loop handles is also important things. This will be important. You can do at the home also. At this are this. If you see on this picture right side, the belt will be like the dupatta is tied at the upper part of the bed. So in that there are 3 dupatta is tied. The one which is a yellow color, the red color, and which is the green color. So if you see in this position, figure A, patient is supine position with the 3 loops are there. Coming to first will be hook around in the first loop with this position. Okay, now with the help of assistance of the second hand can be hooked in the first loop like this manner on the figure C. For after figure C, if the patient is coming up, when patient is coming up, the left hand will be placed in left elbow, should be in a 90-degree position. So this will activate more of neck muscles also. The core activation is also there. And also the scapular into the protraction position. Slowly, slowly, he will shift the hands to the second loop position. Now this on figure E, it's the second loop. So now the position, if you see, of the spine is little bit coming to the straight position. Now from left elbow is now coming into the extension position in figure F. So with this, the elbow into the left elbow into the hyperextended and external rotated. Slowly, slowly can shift to the third loop and now coming to the long sitting position. So this is from supine to long sitting position with the devices like this kind of techniques can be used like a loop handle. In this, I can, I'm only doing, so in the second loop I am doing, with this, there's my elbow, left elbow into the 90-degree position. If you see. So that will be automatic stretch of the core muscles also on the side muscles, side trunk flexors of the trunk also. The coming to sitting without equipment, there are physical prerequisites, roll and throw straight from supine and hand stabilize and walking on elbow. So these are the same, the anterior deltoid muscles and the posterior deltoid muscle is important role, and the movement are the shoulder extension, external rotation and horizontal abduction and elbow extension. Straight coming from supine position, so anterior deltoid is important and bicep. Supine in this long sitting position, bicep is important, and shoulder extension movement and the external rotation and elbow extension. Walking on elbow mainly work on the internal rotators, internal rotation of shoulder and the hamstring flexibility, which is most important part. So C5 sideline to sitting, in this you can see the patients with C5 injury. Initial level you can on sideline can keep the wedge or the two pillow or single pillow and turn, give more weight bearing activations on the sideline positions. His hand is not properly stabilized because the hand position is completely in the spastic position. So in this, if you see this position, coming to initial range, I have to do assist. So work on the initial range of movement where he can comfortable to learn these things. And hand will be hook around the knee. The legs movement, the leg should be flex movement, give the more easy to come up in the straight position. So working on this, if you see, always caretaker needed for the rehabilitation. So initial part he done. Now the next part I will do passively to coming into a sitting position. Careful when you patient who having shoulder problem or shoulder dislocation or pain, for them you have to do carefully or either avoid or use some of the other techniques. So the last part I did was a passively I did, and initial he is doing. This is the cross sitting position. Cross sitting position will give mainly to stretch of the hip adductors muscles and give good mobility in the upright position, give the more orientation part also. So with this sitting position, you can add some of the balance activity also. You can give the some of the rotational stretch, or you can give some of the reach out also. So same position from sideline to sitting position or cross sitting position. The number of repetition you can do 3 or 4 because one repetition is required at least 5-10 minutes depending upon the level of injury. He is not able to place the hand properly on the mats, so you can keep the one pillow, so can properly stabilize also, and keep the one of the weight cuff also, so give the wrist into proper extension position and will be supported on the mat. This is from side to upright sitting position. So give more work on the shoulder joint, like the approximation also. Shoulder approximation, same momentum force can be used coming to straight position. So I have to do on the both the side. So once he learned to do this position, the side sitting weight bearing and balance control, he can do also. Because of his fingers are in the extension position, you can use the crab bandage and to maintain the finger into flex position and tie the crab bandage. So it will be work on the finger muscles also, and he is able to use the muscles on the finger flexors also. So in this, now he is able to do it own with the little effort. Always the foot is supported. See, at this transition phase, he finds difficult when, if you see his facial expression, is difficult for him to come into a straight position. So in sitting balance, you can do measure many of the activity. Like this is the one activity I'm just showing, the boxing activity, from less advanced to the more advanced level. So less advanced is likely to sit on the wheelchair, and you can use the boxing kit also. You can use this bolster, whichever things is available. So this will give, if you see in this video, now he is able to flex the finger. Initially, the fingers is extended position. So, and little support is required from the wheelchair. So the therapist either can sit in the front and progress to the sideways also, left and right side also, and also with the increase the distance. First is a nearer and then far distance. So you can work on the upper limb muscles also the trunk. In this, you can see this picture. Patient is unsupported sitting, and the posture is in the flex position. Majority of the spinal cord injury, like the quadriplegic, their posture is like the flex posture. Okay, so there is always the, in this, the more advanced level, the therapist will be far distance, can be sit and give the more distance. So this activates the more of the, give the good confidence level and improve the balance control also. Some of the activity you can add on, like the picking up or touching the object, only the touching the object. If there is a no hand control or the wrist control, just touching the object on the sideways, like on the left side and right side, keeping the object nearer and then the far, or keeping the object on the down part also, like below this example, if the object is placed here, patient has to touch the object here or here also, or touch to the therapist's knee with the help of one hand supported and with the other hand placed on the plinth. So different variation you can give to improve the balance. So now coming to C6 level of injury, this is the loop ladder. So loop ladder is also how to come up with the sitting. So this is the one of the belt that we can made. It has a different loop. If you can see different loops at the different equal height. So the one end will be keep stable on the foot end side of the bed, and the one end, this will be example in the A figure. This part is attached to the bed end part, and this will be placed around the patient's wrist. So now coming to, patient can turn to one side, and the left hand will be grasp entangled with the same first loop. So slowly coming to the sideline position, he has to change the loop from one loop to the other loop. Okay, if you see this, coming to one loop to the other loop and coming to the long sitting position. So this can be used in the bedside exercise if the patient is, example, in the hospitalized. If he wants to sit, so how will come up? So this technique can also be used, or the pull-ups. Sometimes pull-ups, like the rod or the belt is placed in the ceiling area or in the bed end of the upper part. So patient has to come to the sitting position. So in that, important pull-ups will be require all the shoulder muscles and the elbow muscle strength. So now this is important C6 technique. There are 3 techniques coming from sideline to long sitting with the hooking under the knees. If you can see from this photograph, this picture, B, patient is on the sideline position, elbow and shoulder is 90-degree position. So patient has to walk on the elbows as he will come to completely flex position, like this kind of V position. So the hand will be nearer to the leg if you see on D part. So now after that, one hand will be hooked around his knee like this, will be completely hooked around the knee part, and slowly elbow will be extended position, hyper extended and externally rotated. And now coming to the long sitting position. So on coming to this video, patient with C6 level, initially you have to teach coming to sideline properly with the help of wedge, as already I mentioned. So in this, he is doing properly with the walking on the elbow. You can use the elbow binder also, so there is a less friction on the skin. So his hand will be hooked around the left knee, under the left knee. So now elbow and shoulder is 90-degree. Okay, now completely his posture is in a flexed posture. Patient will automatically learn how to adjust themselves to maintain their balance. Now he needs some of the help, okay, from this side. Now elbow will be completely into hyperextension. You can stabilize the wrist component also here. To learn these things from sideline to the long sitting to the edge of bed is required. One repetition is required at least 10 minutes. Some of the time patients will do half the turn and they stop. So it's a real challenging part where patient has to learn. This is the second technique from supine to long sitting directly. So the hand will be placed in the pocket, if you see in this, and coming to the upright little position, slowly with this, one hand will be thrown apart and give moment force, like the left hand will be in this. So you can use like this, 1, 2 and 3. So this will be now the left side, you can see right now it's on the air. So the next E part will be elbow will be completely extended and it will be external rotated. So next will be the left hand will be this. Now the right will be off the floor and can do the same things, and both the hands will be into this position, and slowly hand will become near to the hip joint and coming to long sitting position. So whichever techniques is easy and comfortable for the patient, you can teach them. This is the third technique. It is the same like before technique 2, but some of the variation in initial part, like prone to sideline to long sitting. Patient is in prone. From prone can do the sideline. So sideline with this, the left hand, if you see this left hand can be take it back side on this side and same way, and now the same thing will be as a technique 2. So this will be also coming to long sitting position. So this long sitting position is give more challenging and give more important because there is a hamstring flexibility will be work. Patient with this, there is a hamstring paralysis occurs. So give more torsional torque will be created at the hip joint. So this is a good important when they do sitting position, long sitting positions to maintain the balance. So hamstring flexibility is very much important. So some of the tightness is always useful. So there is a lifting, so sideways and the forward. So lifting is done to relieve the continuous pressure over the body part, and lifting from sitting positions require a greater balance in sitting position. So coming to sideways position, patients will be, one hand will be near to the hip joint and one hand will be little far to the hip joint. Slowly, he has to lift the buttocks. Okay, so lifting is require more of the lats dorsi strengthening also. So shifting one weight on the one side of the hand and lifting the buttocks to coming to the forward position, and also the same way on the sideways position. If you see in this picture, patient is completely into flex posture. There is a good stretch of the hamstring muscles also. So coming to forward position with this, long sitting to edge of bed. How he is using his hand to come up to forward position and maintain his balance. So now he will keep the hands, adjust the body and keeping the hands behind. Okay. So lats dorsi strengthening is also important. You can use the wooden blocks also. Patients with a good tricep controller depending upon the level of injury. So this is the one patients we use the paper bundles, whatever the things are available. So can do the lift the pelvis up. Sitting balance control can be used. Now this patient we already saw C5 level of injury. Now is able to maintain the balance without back support. So in this you can give many of activities. This will be a C6 level of injury. C7 to C8 same transitions from sideline to prone, prone on elbow and prone on hands. So prone on elbows require a more joint approximation at the shoulder joint and good control to develop the neck muscles, also neck extensors and orientations. And in the prone on hands, so these are the important things. If you see prone on elbow, physical prerequisites. So from prone, if the shoulder is abducted, so mainly anterior deltoid will be work, and if the prone shoulder is adducted, patient can do shoulder into adduction and do prone push-ups. So anterior deltoid is works. So prone from sideline position and at the end of the row. So these are the important charts to learn which muscle is working and which range of motion is important. So this is a case which is incomplete injury. Initially was a complete one. Prone on elbow and prone on hand push-ups. If you see his shoulder are abducted position. This will give good stretch also, and also coming to quadruped position. So quadruped is good for the weight bearing on the both the knees, both the hands, and also the back muscles and also the abdominal muscles. So kneel sitting So you can use the pillow also. Patient can sit. In this is also there is a good stretch of the quadricep muscles also. So you can in kneel sitting also you can give reach outs nearer to the far. You can use the upper limb strengthening also. So many modification you can do. This is the kneeling with the supported, like you can use pillow, chair or peanut ball. Give more strength of the upper limb, require more strength of upper limb. See his posture also. Initially his posture also. Spine is also in a curve position. So when there is a loss of balance, you can use the other techniques also. So adjustment of the leg is also important part. Sometimes kneeling is difficult if the patient is very hefty. You can a therapist can assist behind the pelvis and hold the pelvis, or you can use the some of the transfer belt also. So give more assistance. Is easy for the do the training. So long sitting to the edge of bed. So how is lifting and coming to the forward position? So this you can do, this all the mat program you can do depending upon the complete or incomplete as a group therapy. If you have the individual with the C5, C6, C7 or same level of injury or one or the other, you can plan the therapy which is give more motivations to the patient and give more learning experience. So number of repetition can also increases in the group therapy. This is the group therapy did for the quadriplegic, where in the front row all are quadri, C5, C6, C7 injury. Some are doing independently, some need help. So first you have to do always individualized program and then make him do in a group also. It's give good encouragement and good happiness when they do with the other patient also. So like group therapy with the rolling to side to prone, prone lying, sitting activities, all the activities you can do as a group session. So these are the references. In this www.physiotherapyexercise.com, in this website, you can see the different level of injury. You can tick mark and you can see n number of exercise like the bed mobility part, balance part, gait training part, other functional activity, environmental modification, everything you can see. And this you can save it to your and give reference to your patient also. And also this website is not for the including only the spinal cord injury. There are other neurological cases also like the stroke and the head injury. So you can visit this website. It will be good learning part. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Snehal, for this wonderful presentation. There are many questions put up by the attendees, so I'll ask you some of those questions. In case of training for rolling, if the patient has very flaccid lower limbs, how would you go about training? What things you would do in the positioning?
Positioning or a rolling?
To train rolling for a patient with a flaccid limb, lower limb.
Flaccid lower limb, you can give more if the like the same way, same thing. Okay, but the only thing like the flipping, they have the automatic, they are not under control. So coming to supine to side lying, so you have to control the hand part. they will automatically thrown their body. So be careful with the movement. You can initially start with the some of the things, like you can use the inner range also, like you can use pillow also. But majority cases, like if you see, most of the quadriplegic having the spasticity, very less cases you can see the complete flaccidity phase when you start with the MAT program.
While training for supine to long sitting, what methods you would use for patients having severe spasticity in upper limb and lower limb which interfere with their transitions? So which of the methods you shown would be more beneficial in training?
Majority of the patients can easy to learn. It is a first technique, like the hooking the hand under the knee position. That will be always useful, because sometime when they come to the side to long sitting, if you see on the video, the spasticity is more. So this spasticity sometimes is useful for the patients to coming up. And before start with the training, you always do some of the stretching program or icing therapy and the other plan also. You can you don't put everything directly on the mat.
As in quadriplegic rehab, there are many aspects involved like the strengthening, mat transitions, balance, hand function, so many things. So some are asking how would you progress with the patient rehab? Like a patient does there come for the first time for rehab, so many things to do together. How would you progress from the start and gradually go towards making the patient independent in his transitions?
So before when they come to us, like we have to see the check the assessment. Okay, we have to see the Asia scale. So according to which muscles are spared and which muscles are damaged, according to we have to plan. What are their limitation mainly? What are the primary goals? If the patient is not able to sit, patient is not able to roll. So first thing is to roll. But before rolling, we have to do the strengthening part also. So slowly we can put him under the different categories, not like everything will be start on the first day.
In case of patients having shoulder subluxation, what precautions can be taken during MAT program and how do we proceed with the training for the MAT transitions?
Okay, patient with shoulder subluxation many a times come. So certain exercise you can give the shoulder subluxation management. You can use the sling also, and those side which is not affected, like not on the both the shoulder. So you can start to the non-affected side transition. And also can do the other techniques also. You can work on the initial range, not do in the complete range. Shoulder, any assistive device or the sling or the support you can give.
Many are having queries in the loop handle technique for supine to long sitting. Can you explain it again? And the question is, in once you train with assistance for loop handle, in future can the patient start using the loop handle independently and how will be the progression in the training?
Okay, I'll show you the slide or loop handles. So in this, can you see? In the loop handles, you start with any of the techniques in any rehab. You can use assistive device. Slowly you have to discard these devices, because patient eventually has to learn independent level. So in this, I will explain you again. There are 3 loops you can tie, the 3 dupatta you can tie. First will be entangled to the first loop. Your hand should be entangled with the first loop, hook around. Slowly, slowly with the lifting, you can come up in this C position. With this, the other hand is also clasped. So like both the hands in this position with the under the one loop. Then slowly when you come up, the left hand on the D part, left elbow should be in the 90-degree position. Shoulder and elbow into 90-degree position. If you see my cursor on this side. So now the patient is coming more on little bit upright position as compared to the previous position. Then next will be can shift this loop, can shift this hand to the second loop. So now here the elbow is bent, now the elbow into the extension position. And the opposite side will be into the hyperextension and external rotation. So now coming to more upright position and shifting to the third loop. So slowly, slowly with the progression, this loop can be maintained at the sum of the specific, not very far, it should be very nearer. Not too far, not too nearer. So slowly, slowly they have to come up. So they have to tie this end also. So eventually you have to discard these things while using the other technique, which is already I showed you.
So the last question, some quadriplegics tend to overuse their neck movements when training for mat transitions, and they end up using less of their upper limb strength because of the weakness, and especially in the initial part of training. So how do you overcome that, and how do you guide the patient the right way?
Majority like a quadri patient, they are using neck muscles. So example, if I give a patient wants to shift like the side shift in the long sitting position, sideway weight shift, they are using more neck muscles, neck into the flexion positions to opposite side. Okay, but sometimes it's a compensatory movement where they are using the other muscles. In spite, because they don't have the other control, with the help of neck muscles, they are using this part, and with this they can achieve the movement whichever they want to do.
Thank you, Dr. Snehal. That was the last question.
Okay. Thank you, Uttara.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Snehal. It was a wonderful and a very, very informative session. I think all the participants have learned lots. Firstly, I would like to thank IAP technical team, because without them, I don't think we could have gone ahead with this webinar. I would also like to thank all the participants. I would like to thank Dr. Ruchi Vashnet, Dr. Sanjeev Jha, and Dr. Pooja Kamble, and all the members of Maharashtra State team for the continuous efforts and the hard work put up for the webinar series. Thanks a lot. And all of you, those who have any questions further, can put up in the WhatsApp group. And it's a request to all of you to please fill up the feedback form. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nirali and Uttara and Suvarna ma'am, and all the my state team, and also the IAP technical team, Ruchi ma'am and Sanjeev Jha sir and Pooja Kamble ma'am. So thanks a lot. Have a great day.